What's up, YouTube? Now, our very first camp of 2025 is coming up this weekend, and I'm really excited to do it because it's not a wild camp, it's an off-grid camp. So I mentioned in a previous video about this website, offgridcamping.com, I think it's called, and you become a member, you pay landowners whatever fee they charge to go camp on their land. And we've got a place near Buckfastleigh where we are able to have the entire area to ourselves, and we can actually have a fire pit. So it's going to be a very luxurious camp, hence all of this stuff that I've got out now. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you exactly what I'm taking and how I can fit it all in this bag. Now, to start off, it's always a good idea to have your heavier, bulkier stuff at the bottom of your bag and close to your back. Now, the only heavy and bulky things I have is my Andes Nevado 400 sleeping bag and my tent, which is the OEX Raccoon 2.1. Now, those are the only heavy things, and I always tend to put my sleeping bag at the bottom of my bag and usually have the tent on the outside. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do it a little bit different this time. So I'm still going to put this in there like that, simple. But I'm going to slide the tent down the side of it. So it all fits in there. There we go, sorted. So that's the heavy stuff at the bottom of the bag, close to my back, so that will help distribute the center of gravity, or whatever the scientific term is. It's basically going to put less strain on your back. Next heavy thing would be the OEX Expedition tarp. Small, compact, so it can just slot down there like that as well. And then I've got the OEX X-Lite table, which I haven't actually used yet, and I'm quite excited to use it. It's something that I wouldn't normally consider taking on a wild camp, because there's no real need for a table as such. But on a camp like this, 100% take it. And again, it's quite slim, so in theory it should slot down the side. Go, sorted like that. And then everything else is kind of small and lightweight. I've got this foam roll mat, which obviously is probably the lightest thing here, and that's going to be paired with the Trekology UL80 sleeping pad. That's small and compact, that can go in there just on the top. I'm also taking this, which is the Eurohike pillow. I'm not a fan of it. It's pretty shit, to be fair, but I thought for a pillow, you know, I'll just stick something in one of the stuff sacks that I've got, and that can just be in there for a bit of added comfort on the top. That's really lightweight, so don't need to worry about that. What else have I got? Right, I've got this here, my box of electronics, power bank, torches, pump, headlight. That's quite heavy when it's all together, so that's just going to sit in the back there on top like so. It's going to start toppling over. Anyway, next would be the stove. So I got this stove for Christmas. Again, haven't used it. Quite looking forward to using it because it's the style and feel that I want compared to the Takana Solo stove that I've already got. This one's got D handles, and it's got a nice, is it a neoprene lid? Is that what it's called? Like a rubbery plastic lid. And it's got strainer holes and stuff. So it's I think it might be a bit more beneficial compared to the OEX one that I've got. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to be looking forward to using it. Now this one fits in the side pocket. It's ideal. Big side pockets on this bag. I love it. To go with that, we've got the what are they? Widessa? Is it Widessa? Let's have a look. Yeah, Widessa cooking pots and pan, just in case I want to cook something. I don't know what I'm going to be cooking yet, but I'm going to take it just in case, because why not? So then after that, we've got a first aid kit, which is obviously very important to have. Shovel for whatever you need to do. I bought a little monocular because I had money remaining on my Go Outdoors vouchers, and it was only like £8, so I thought I'd get one, because why not? And then we've got the bottles. I've got a new OEX thermos. What is it called? Thermal cup bottle thing. Now I've got a sports bottle by Euroheight. Both will be filled with water before I go. And obviously I've got the Summit Seeker mug that we got made for coffees, etc. Now those can wait. These can stay out for a minute. What's this? So I've got my, I call it my breakfast box, but it's filled with like coffees, hot chocolates, a bit of chocolate spread, porridge. That's obviously for breakfast. Got my knife, just in case I need to whittle something. And I've got this for Christmas, which is like it's just a cutlery set in a nice little pouch. So try those out. Those can go down the side in this pocket, along with the first aid kit. Monocular can go in there because it's small. What else? I think that might be it for that pocket. Right, so in the top, put the pillow in there. I'm going to put the bottles in there for now. They'll sit nicely at the top. Got the breakfast box. Now that goes in a different place. Cup can go in here as well. Shovel in there. Just slide it down the front. So that is that. Moving on to clothes. I've got obviously a spare change of clothes for the day after. I've got some thermal socks that I'm really looking forward to trying. Never had thermal socks, but they're really fluffy, so I'm hoping these are going to keep me warm, because it is still quite cold nights at the moment. And a spare base layer in case I do get cold in the night. Some nice gloves that are very windproof, I must say. They're not branded. They're it just says Wind Stoppers XY on it. For that. And then obviously going to take my raincoat just in case it does rain, because the forecast is saying it's got a medium chance of rain over the weekend. So what I'll do with these is I will just roll them up and put them into a dry bag. Now I use the spare bags that come with my tents, really, because there's no need for these bags with my tents, and they're ideal for separating your dirty clothes and your clean clothes, etc. So it's always good to have those in there. That's spares. Clip it in, that's fine. Now that doesn't necessarily have to go in the bag That can go on the outside if I want it to. Gloves want to be somewhere where I can get to quite quickly, so they'll go on the side here as well. I think that's that for that pocket, so let's do that one up. And that pocket's done. Right, so in the top, let's take the raincoat in there. And I think that might be it for that. Obviously, I've got all this extra space I can use, but if it's not needed, it's not needed. Do the drawstrings up, clip the lid over. That is almost ready to go. Foam mat on the front. Now, I use the foam mat with the Trekology pad this time of year because it is still cold. Because when you've got a cold ground at night and you don't really have any insulation on your pad, it does tend to deflate quite quickly overnight. So this is just going to give it a bit of protection from that, and it will stay inflated for the rest of the night. It does work because I've tried it before without the roll mat and with it. So I know it works. It's a bit of science behind it, but yeah. Right, so that's that. Then in the top, what I normally put is my food in the top. So I've got it there. I've got quite a lot of space in there. For now, just putting the breakfast box in there because I haven't got the food that I'm taking because I'm not going for a couple of days. So that is pretty much it. And what I'll do with this is what should I do with this? Do you know what? I'm gonna put it in there, out of the way. I should have rehearsed this before I actually started recording a video, but it's all right. I've done enough camps. I know what fits in this bag and what doesn't. And there you have it. Now this looks extremely bulky and it is packed to the very top. But this is only because I am taking things that I wouldn't normally take on a wild camp. And I've packed it a bit different to how I normally pack. Like I said, I usually have my tent on the outside instead of the roll mat. I don't normally take the tarp, that usually stays here. Don't normally take the pillow, don't normally take the table. What else? I don't normally take that big Andy's sleeping bag. That's my winter sleeping bag. It's a 4-season one, £20, and it's probably the best bit of camping equipment I've ever bought because it's so cheap and it's so comfy and so warm. You know, I don't think I've really had a cold night while being in that. But in the summer, I take the OEX Fathom EV300 sleeping bag. I think it's the 300. Let's have a look. Yeah, the EV300. I usually take this one, and as you can see, it's a lot smaller and it does compress down really well. So that is that. That is the bag packed for the weekend ahead. Looking forward to it. It's been quite a while since I was last out camping. I think it might have been November last year when I was out camping last. So it's been a couple of months, but finally happening again. And this bag, in case you're wondering, is the Eurohike Nepal 85. I've done a video of this bag, how to pack it, what you can fit in here, kind of what I've just done now, but a bit more on the bag itself. So that is what I'm taking, all of this. I'm not entirely sure what it weighs, but let's give it a little lift, shall we? See what it feels like. Oh God, that's heavy. There's a lot of stuff in here. But once it's on your back, yeah, that where I've packed that tent, yeah, you can definitely feel that it's a lot better. I mean, it's still quite a lot of stuff in here. I'd probably say it's around 20 kilos in here, just under. So it is ridiculously heavy for camping. But like I said, we're going to a off-grid camp where we're driving to. So it's not really that much of an issue. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please consider subscribing to the channel for more hiking, wild camping and gear reviews. And I will see you next week on our camp. I'll see you later.